Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and even Matty Torley in the chat. Just a reminder to everyone that at the start of qualifying, we will be observing a minute's silence on this sad, sad day in F1 around the world for Sir Frank Williams. So please do not type in the chat while this is going. Both teams have agreed to not release any cars until the 17th minute in qualifying, and I'd like it if you all followed the same. Thank you everyone, apart from AMS Chris. Get some F's in the chat for him. So, Japan, BFE Season 3 between AMS and FRA, joined by the iconic legend of the game. Not only is he good on the track, he's also good in the comm spots. Good evening, Dakora Shoei. How are you doing this evening?
Good evening, and good evening to the whole chat. It is an absolute pleasure to be commentating over two such great teams. Really looking forward to it. I've just gotten the update that it is all dry throughout both the sessions. So, what are your predictions for tonight, then, Rose?
It's going to be a very, very good contest, and I've just got the teams up on the screen for everyone to see now. So FRA represented by Ronhar, Silas, LMG, Overkill instead of Blackie, Jed and John B. And AMS, Moritz, Atomic, Hero, Dan, Janinja and Terms. So two evenly poised teams. I think it could come down to the finest of margins, Shoei, for sure. Any standouts in there for you?
No, just apart from the fact that FRA have two provisionally Esports Challenger Series drivers, so that just shows the pace that they do have. So it's going to be very interesting. I apologise for my mic, by the way. Apparently, my mic is doing all sorts of things, but yeah, I do apologise. It's my Wi-Fi, not the mic.
I thought it was me then for a second. I'm known for mic issues.
No, it is my problem. Everybody in the chat is having to go before it, so I do apologise for that.
Try plugging your mic out and back in. That normally works.
It's not that. It's because I've got wireless. Let me just.
Okay. So we have got action on track already. FRA John B down into turns 1 and 2. Everyone on the softs apart from Janinja, Term and Heroes. We go through the S's for the first time with FRA John B. I watched him get absolutely clattered in a league race last night, and talking of clattering, he's right round, baby, right round onto the kitty litter on the outside, and John B just can't park there, sir. That's number 1 of the evening. Nightmare start for John B. It is indeed, and we'll try and pick up some cars closer to... Who've we got? Someone closer to the finish. LMG. Yeah, LMG about to go through Cassia Triangle to finish off the first lap and set really the benchmark for everyone else. So he's going to hug it right to that pit wall, and the time to beat so far is a 1:28.6. Apparently if you uninclude your audio and reconnect it, Shoei, that should work. Yeah, time's coming in thick and fast. Moritz 1:28.2 goes 4 tenths clear at the top. Overkills. Jeb goes in at P2 for 1:28.3. Term 1:28.7. Silas 1:28.4. So they're all coming in the mid 28s. And Ronnie is invalidated on his first lap. A lot of talk when I stream FRA about Ronnie. Rumours are he's got a new wheel on the horizon, Shoei. Do you reckon he'll be using that one tonight, or do you reckon he's gone back to the old one? Yeah, as we watch Janinja go in on the mediums at a 1:29.5. Pole time. Are we gonna see a 27? Talking of toe, we see a lovely one given to AMS Atomic by Hero as he comes through the last couple of corners. A bit of a snap of oversteer on the outside. Term goes up to P4 with a 28.6, but Atomic 1:29.2. So Silas, so it's pretty tight at the top, only a couple of tenths either way from Moritz, who we've seen. Oh, you can't hear Shoei now, they're saying. Shoei, how are we going to do this? Do you want to leave and try and rejoin? No worries, we'll try that one. We'll try and get Shoei back in, bless him. He's not having the best of times. It's normally me with the mic issues. But it looks like Shoei is struggling tonight as well. Get on board with some action. It doesn't look anyone's on a fast lap at the moment, so we got LMG and the Williams on an out lap. Formula Andrew 14, this is becoming the El Clasico of BFE. It is indeed. They do always seem to match each other. Good evening, Edgar, in the chat. Nice to anyone who don't know, anyone who's got a league, who's looking for a commentator, Edgar is your man. He's looking to get back into the comms box, which is great to see. As we got 3 cars out on outlaps. Shoei, have we got you back, sir?
If it's not there, I think I'll just shut up. It's so annoying for the chat to have to hear that.
They're saying, oh, apparently you're back. We can hear him, woohoo, so a massive dub in the comms box.
But I still sound like a robot, so I do apologise.
Need him to be louder. Let me see if I can turn you up.
I can shout, that is not a problem.
No, I can crank you up in the party as well, I think. We'll go with that. Right, we'll go with that, see if that's any good. So, LMG looks like he's going to be the front runner to set us off on the second laps. Shoei, do you want to take us away on a lap with LMG?
Sure, I will do that. So he's lining up his lap now, trying to make sure that he gets a clean exit going really slowly through that last sector as he gets his way on the power now. He's going to open the DRS. Long main straight. Going to the S section. Just a moment. There we go, LMG. Such a difficult first corner, but when you get it right, it's very nice. Yeah, he does that pretty nicely. Doesn't invalidate on the exit. Super easy to spin here. Doesn't do so. Misses the apex ever so slightly. He gets that done very nicely. Gonna have to open up this corner now. Oh, and it's a little bit slow, it feels, through the S section. This is such a fun part to drive. Turning in at the 50 doesn't invalidate on the exit. A lot of time on the table through there. Yeah, now the hairpin, so easy to make a mistake to lock up. Does it very nicely. Goes onto the curb, on the exit curve a little bit. And now another long straight. Into spoon. So easy to spin on the exit there, but he does it nicely. And is there a toe there? Yeah, there is. Ronha is towing LMG, and it's looking like a fantastic tow from Ronha. He's going to have to move out the way now, though, because getting in the way. And he's 3/10 up, so that is brilliant stuff from LMG. Now he just has to get that final sector done. And then he will be surely at the top of the timesheets. He's on track for 3, but if he gets the last sector done nicely, he will definitely be P1. Open the DRS, he's going to cross the line, and he does go P1 with a 0.1. Brilliant last sector for LMG, which puts him top of the streets.
That is a fantastic lap. Poob, good evening. How you doing, sir? FG Kamarov, yes, I do remember FRL. Who would ever forget? Moritz just coming round the final corner. He's miles away from anywhere competitive. But yeah, Jed just well picked up there by Shoei. He could go, if he finds that little bit more time, he needs to find 8. Oh, he's 3 tenths up, just or thereabouts. If he can find another tenth, we will break that 27 marker this evening. Round the final corner goes Jed. I got told off for calling him Jujon last time, but it's Jed, and it's provisional pole, a 1:28.083, so a decent time. Silas about to cross the line. 1:28. Yeah, he did a 1:28.1. Apparently, as Janinja from AMS just slots it into P3. Invalidations are creeping in a little bit, Shoei.
They are indeed. It's quite easy to invalidate around the track, of course. There's a lot of high-speed corners, meaning you can run wide pretty easily. But look at Ronha now getting LMG returning the figure to Ronha. He's getting a massive slipstream down that long straight, medium compound dive. Maybe we can see Ronha get a very good lap time on the mediums and really put him on a stronger position on the ultimate strategy. And yes, he does. Wow, that P2 for Ronha. That's only half a tenth off Jed. Yeah, that is incredible stuff from Ronha.
Yeah, and that separates the men from the boys in this lobby. That's hours of practice. That's nailing everything to a T. I quite regularly see him on Do Not Disturb on the Xbox lobby, and that's the reason why, as we've got AMS turn right round, baby, right round, coming out of turn 11, the hairpin. Second spinner Rooney tonight. So the spin count is at 2. No one else on a lap, are they?
No, I don't see anyone on a lap.
So it's advantage FRA. They've locked out the top 3, but they also have a secret weapon, and that's Ronnie on the reverse strategy on the mediums.
Yeah, that is a fantastic lap from Ronha. Not really seeing any of the AMS drivers. I was expecting Term to be up there, I was expecting Hero to be up there, but not really performing as of now. Maybe the last run will show something that they've been hiding.
Indeed, and good evening to Decorous Mates, Decorous Allison in the chat. Good evening to Ismail. Poob, I'm very well, thank you. AMS Luke, good evening. For those of you who haven't followed the BFE channel, please do so. We're currently at 414. It'd be good to see the 420 mark tonight. That would be fantastic. So hit that follow button, guys. Show your support for BFE and the tournament.
Rose, do you think Ronha's going to go out on the softs to try and beat that, or do you think he'll just be starting on the ultimate strategy?
I think if it was me, I would stick with that. But he's got that luxury now where he can go out on the softs, and I reckon he'll breach the 27s easily. But it's whether he wants to. He's sat comfortably for me in P2. He doesn't really need to go out on the softs. But track evolution, is it massive? We've got the likes of Janinja, Moritz, Terms out of position in P8 for me. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely not as massive as this comms box.
Good evening to Sean Keeper.
I think it's that big around this
Keeper
track.
is in. Breaking news, there is a Phil Jones SBC on FIFA 22, which has delighted Edgar this evening. And obviously, for those of you who have followed the esports scene today, you'll see that the DFA, formerly known as the Decorous Future Athletes, have made that step into main team territory, and they are now called AEM. So it'll be good to see how they get on in future tournaments and stuff, Shoei.
What does AEM stand for? I'm not really caught up with the whole situation as of now.
It's something to do with a Greek or Latin term that goes in line with Decorous and ACES. There was a lot of debate in BFE General earlier about it. AMS Dan in the Alpha Tauri is going to kick us off on Artemis, I don't know. AMS Dan, I haven't seen this driver before. I don't know if he's new, I don't know if he's been around, whether he's changed gamer tags or whatnot, but we'll go on board with him through turns 1 and 2, and he has got a Red Bull in front of him who gets out of the way, lovely, and here comes the AMS Dan through the S's, looks to try and keep that throttle as planted as he can, big lift round the second to last one, and then it's this tricky uphill left. I've lost the back end here multiple times, and that's why I'm sat in the commentary box and not on the track. Through the Degners, he's 16 seconds up on his time, and you'd expect that as he just misses the apex at the second Degner turn 10, and it's up to turn 11, and it is the hairpin. Apparently this is called the Kobayashi curve, but we'll call it the hairpin down into turn 12, which is a turn, even though it's a little, if you were playing a rally game, it would be an easy right, and down into one of the most famous corners on the circuit. It's Spoon, he hits the apex lovely, just drips it out and then brings it back into it, the apex early on the throttle. Going to get a lovely toe from AMS Terms, so the teamwork from AMS really shining through this evening as we go down to another famous corner on this circuit, 130R. He will stay absolutely flat as he goes through here up into Casio Triangle. Term moves out the way, looks to ride the curbs early on the throttle, going to keep it right, and this is going to be a 128.2, an improvement of 22.8, and Ron Hart is out on the soft tyres, Shoei.
Yeah, I think he maybe will just see if he drops down a lot and complete the lap, but if he doesn't, then I think he will just back off a little bit and make sure that his medium run will be the fastest one. A lot of drivers improving, one of them being LMG, who's at 10th now, but after second 2, completely flat through there, of course, as he goes to the final chicane now. That very nicely cuts the track as much as possible to make the track as short as possible. Shortest line to the finish line, and he goes P1 with a 27. There we go, that's the 27 we were talking about.
It is indeed, and Jed has a massive snap of oversteer. Moritz goes up with 28.0, and look how close that is between Jed and Moritz. And here goes Ronnie, he's invalidated though. Janinja 3/10 up coming through the final corners according to the track data at the top. He's coming through the final 2 corners, and he's going to make a short sprint to the line. Overkill's up into P4, so 128.1 to a 10th found, and Ronha has invalidated, so he is currently in P6. Dan's backed out as well. Terms invalidated, so that could be the end of qualifying, Shoei.
Yeah, and at the last moment, Silas got P2 just about getting ahead of Jed and Moritz, so incredibly close between the top of the position 3 and 4, just 1,000 separating them. G Ninja lost about 2/10 in the final chicane, so it's a very poor last sector for G Ninja. He would have had pole if he didn't mess up.
No, I don't know if that was a glitch on the timing board, but if Ronnie had completed that lap on the softs, he would have hit a 1:27.4, which... No, 1:27, yeah, 1:27.7, sorry, so that would have put him well clear at the top. And while I'm talking about being clear, good evening to Beer and Kebab TV, who raids the channel with 14 viewers. Thank you very much for that, Sunshine. Another fellow excellent commentator. Owns TIR Racing and ETE Esports. Thank you very much, Beer. Hope your stream went well. I don't know how PSR v ETE finished up, but that's the end of qualifying, Shoei. That is a surprising one, I think, if your name is FRA Ronha. But it's LMG who takes pole position, the only driver into the 27s with a 27.985. Silas 28 flat, an 081 from Jed makes it an FRA lockout 1, 2 and 3. Moritz P4, Overkill on his debut P5, Janinja 6th, Ronhard down in 7th. But on the medium tyre, Dan, John B and Term complete the top 10, and free choice of tyres for Hero and Atomic. And the race will be coming up soon. Shoei, who has the advantage after qualifying?
So yeah, obviously LMG Silas, they're both looking very, very good, but don't count out Ronhard because we saw the pace he had. He would have had pole by 2/10, and he's on the alternate strategy. So if you can get those past those cars early, then I think we definitely will maybe potentially see Ronhard on the top step once again. No one really ties, who needs that? Just straight action. Drivers ready.
Yeah, we've gone on to the intermission screen so that we can have a couple of minutes break if you want to. We'll be back. The race will be about 3 to 4 minutes delay as the strategies, drinks, cigarettes, e-cigs, whatever is consumed. I'm going to take the opportunity for a break, Shoei, so if you're not, you can entertain the masses. We're up to 78 viewers, so...
Yeah, I will entertain them. I don't know what to entertain them with, but I'll just stay here and answer any questions or something and just read chat. How was everyone's day? You're very active in the chat. We do love to see that. Shoei, can you explain what JW means? I honestly, I'm pretty sure it means just wondering, but I think that's what it means. I just not even sure. Mon, good evening, mate. I hope you're having a nice day. How'd your race go? It's Shoei co-comms and my mic is crackly because that's always what happens. It's always what happens when you're include audio, and my Wi-Fi is a bit awful. Jeffrey, you definitely have to do something special here. You faltered that quality enormously, I must say. I can't fix my mic. I wish I could. That's just my Wi-Fi and the fact that I'm co-comms. Usually when I'm hosting it doesn't sound as bad when I'm the one streaming it, but that is just too bad. You're gonna have to put up with it, lads, sorry. Well, what track were you racing on? Because I have no idea. Because you've got second, right? Or like France, because Ball boys go front. There's no way that I just guessed that. Was it France? Wasn't Findy the one who was winning the race? How'd you get second? And Rusty. Welcome back, Robbie.
So we at the start. Are you going to take the start away, Shoei? I'll do it for you in honour, my friend, if you want to take the opening first few corners.
Sure. I'll go ahead and do that then.
It would be an honour.
Second light, 3 light, 4 lights, 5 lights. And lights out, and away we go. That was a long starting phase, but it looks like a good start for LMG. As they get ahead of Silas, and oh my god, that's already car into the wall. A great start for FRA as they keep the front 3 positions side by side. Go the other Williams and G Ninja, I think. Christ, that was very close racing between the two of them. The switch back from overkills as he makes his way round the outside with a fast left hand. I cannot do so. He's going to have to keep position. Rose will have started down already in the wall before we've even hit the corner.
Yeah, and that was an interesting one. Maybe he was on 0 traction and just lit them back tyres up with not a lot of temperature in, and that's a nightmare start for AMS. One driver already right round, baby, right round, as Ronhar failing to make positions up off the start. We'll just go over to the tyres as he gets very close to the back of overkills and looks to send one on the traction up the inside, but doesn't get it done this time. So top 10, Hero, Term and Ronhar on the mediums, and everyone else is on the softs. Dan from the back going on the soft compounded tyre, and Silas playing rear gunner for LMG out in front. The gap already 0.6 of a second, so LMG is clear at the front, and I imagine the duo of Moritz and Janinja really need to keep close within DRS of Jed in P3, Shoei.
Yeah, absolutely. So the only positions that McCain lost was G Ninja got a position on overkills. So, you know, it's a fairly average start for everyone as LMG crossed the line for the first time. I don't know, because LMG is a Japan merchant, so we will see how this all fares out. But Moritz and G Ninja definitely have to keep up with that group in front, otherwise, you know, they're already lost. It isn't looking good so far, but you know, it's a long race, 27 laps. Anything happen.
What we have just seen, however, is Ronhar's had a moment in the S's and he's lost 2 places, so he's down into P9. So what already was a difficult start for Ronnie down in P7 has got even worse, because he's been overtaken by AMS Term and John B, and he's got his work cut out now. He's got a lot to do.
Now he's behind Term, who I know likes to battle for his position, so it's definitely not going to be easy, especially in this DRS train. So an absolutely less than ideal start for Ronhar. He's just going to have to follow his way through when Term overtakes all the dying softs. But yeah, so far just a long DRS train, not really much happening. We're going to get DRS next lap, but you know, every car in each other's 1 second window, apart from Dan, who's just newly pitted onto the medium compact tyre.
Yeah, so wing damage definitely off the start. You've seen his front wing clattering off the sidewall as he went for a little diversion in little Esports line off the start. As we go on board with Moritz, who is well within DRS range of John in front, and it's important for them front 3 to all stick together but not hold each other up. John B and Overkill look like they're having a little bit of battle, and John B up into P6. So FRA, apart from Ronhar. Oh, talking of which, Commentators curse. John B has a snap, and the Williams of Overkill looking to take full advantage. Term nearly gets caught up, and Ronhar's now right on the back of these 3 as we go into the Degners.
Yeah, that got very close, and Term nearly capitalised from that. But I'm just having a look at the warning. It doesn't seem that anybody has one just yet. Maybe Ronhar. Yeah, Ronhar's already on 1 warning then. So Ronhar is on already a bit of a tightrope. Not good for Ronhar, as he's the only driver to have a warning, other than Dan, who is out of the race basically already. But yeah, that was very close between Term and Overkills, and I think that was fully coordinated from the FRA boards. They could just let each other through and not battle, but you know, because now John's out of the DRS from Ninja, which is exactly what FRA did not need. Turn out all the way close up. Will he go for an overtake? Yes, he will. He's going to send one up the inside of that chicane. Does he get it? He's going to get the switch back here. He's going to get a good run down into turn 1. He's going to get a fantastic run. He's going to use that ERS and a snap of oversteer. Overkill's feeling the pressure. He's trying to look to send one at the inside, but it looks like Overkill has the slipstream from John B and yields from that. So nothing comes from that for Term. So there's a lot of ERS down the straight for both drivers, as Term is still on the upper hand for the ERS. But it's a great little battle between the two of them.
Yeah, and Hero and Ronar have joined the back of this little train now, so the battle for 6th place between John B Overkill's Term, Ronar and Hero. The field is a little bit broke into 2, so the top 5 are in a bit of a train, and everyone else apart from Dan and Atomic really into a bit of a train. There's the fastest lap of a 31.3 from Dan. He's in clear air, he's racing on his own, probably hoping for a safety car, as we watch Moritz go into Spoon. There is some chat about someone having a baby in the stream chat. I'm sure that's not true.
I'm pretty sure it's Milton Josh. He's had a baby, so congratulations, Josh.
Decorous Jacob, good evening to you as well, showing the support for AMS Term as Moritz gets very close to Jed coming out of the final corner, and the DRS train will continue. Janinja's just dropping off the back, but not enough to fall into the realms of John B as we go on board with Overkill. Is he going to make that move on John B into turn 1? No, he's not. Term's right on the back of him also, so it's tight in 2 different battles, Shoei, at the start as we're on lap 5. And how do you see it panning out from here?
Well, I just see the medium runners. Term needs to really get a move on and needs to get past Overkill and John B very quickly so they can chase the likes of his teammates who will probably let him by. So I think Term is in a really good position as long as he manages to not spin, which we've seen him do plenty of times. So hopefully if Term can keep it up and Ronoha can follow through. As talking about Term, I know it says Term. He has a fantastic run through the hairpin, and it's going to be side by side. John B is going to give Overkills the slipstream to try and get his teammate ahead, but it's going to be side by side into Spoon as he gets nudged onto the grass, and that is going to give the position to so many drivers. That's a dangerous re-entry from Overkills as Hero is forced to yield, but now he's got grass on his tyres, so now he's going to have a shocking run through here. Maybe open the door for Hero to go for an overtake and give AMS a bit more of an advantage. But yeah, there we go. Talking about Hero, he's going to send one around the outside, late on the brakes, and he gets the move done. So that is a brilliant piece of racing from Hero, and the battle at the front continues with Term trying to chase down John B Rose.
It was a fantastic switchback out of turn 11 from AMS Term, and it's been a good lap for AMS and 2 very, very good moves, but some respectful racing as well. A little bit of a wheel bang between Term and Overkills, but we call that a racing incident in where I come from. And AMS starting to claw back a little bit, but they've still got a lot of work to do in the next 21 laps. Good evening, AMS Chris, AMS Till. A lot of support. Formula Andrew 14, good evening in the chat. Up to 55 viewers. Four followers away from that 420 mark. If we can get there this evening, that would be fantastic. In terms looking at the inside again of John B coming out of 11, and he's got FRA Ronhart keeping him very, very honest in behind. So for the soft runners, Shoei, where do you expect them to come in box?
I have not done any of the. I have not done. Oh, Silas makes a mistake then as Moritz gets past. And does that open the door for Gene Engine? No, it does not. But Silence has gone from P2 to P4 in just a couple of laps. But look at Tom. He's going to try and go for a move. He's not going to use any DRS, just a slipstream, and he's going to summon up the inside. I'd wait for the DRS, and that's exactly what John B's done. So now John B's going to get the switch back, and he's going to get the position back. Not that much thinking going through Tom's head in that stage, but it's going to make him drain a lot of DRS, and that is exactly what Tom's going to do. He's wasted it. As John B. Oh, Ronhar's getting involved as well, and oh my god, that's Ronhar. He's nearly smashed into the back of Tom. And wow, Ronha had a little look of the inside of the turn, but it just wasn't meant to be. Great respectful race in front of both of them to keep both cars on track. But yeah, it's really heating up in the mid-pack.
And Term is sat like a caged tiger, I think, in P7. He knows he's got the pace advantage over John B as we rode on board for this lap on the rear wing of John B, just watching what's going on behind. But Moritz is now up into P2, and the first penalty this evening goes to Mr. Overkills. So AMS again, so another lap and some more advantage coming for AMS. But yeah, but pit window, Shoei?
You'd have to ask someone in the chat because I just don't know. Maybe like lap 11, I think.
Lap 11, so it will be a one-stop strategy, I imagine.
Yeah, it will be a one-stop strategy, 100%.
Moritz is going to go on the charge for the lead here on LMG. LMG just looks like he gets that exit that he wanted. Half a second a gap. You're going to have to be very brave to send this down in turn 1. Shout out to Benny for moves into turn 1 from 5/10 back. Term gets past John B. John B's right up the inside. Oh, there's contact. Just a slight bit of contact. Term runs very wide and gets a penalty. Oh, and there's contact. He's hit him up the back. Didn't expect it. Ronha has to be very, very sharp on the brakes to avoid it. Heroes come in as well, so it's all, the action's getting thick and fast through these S's. Term gets a time penalty, drifts wide and almost causes carnage in behind him, but luckily they managed to keep it safe.
Yeah, they did, and I thought, Ronha's really got to keep his wits about in situations like that, because when the guys are battling just ahead, one little mistake and Ronha's into the back of them and the race is over. So John B just letting Ronha pass, he's realising that, yeah, the pace is definitely better for Ronha as he chases down the turn. Already has a penalty, so it's not looking good. So this time, Term and AMS do not have the advantage, so that's something that this does include. But Term is definitely looking to try and close up the G Ninja to try and join DRS straight to be safe from Ronha. He's nearly broken the DRS from Ronha, actually.
Yeah, there's Term is on the move as we go back on board for the battle for the lead, and they're a little bit closer this time. 3/10 of a second this time, so he could be within striking distance. He's not on the battery LMG either.
He's confident.
Up against him. No move.
Yeah, we have a first pit stop. Oh, yeah, that's a spin for Hero. He's gone round. He's done very, very well to save that, but he's lost heaps and heaps of time doing that, and that's not good for Hero as he was closing up to the back of John B and managed to grass all over his tyres. I mean, he's going to have a difficult time through these S's. But yeah, like I said, first driver to come in and out of the pit lane is Overkills. Putting on the medium compound tyre, just confirmed that it is a soft to medium. I think I was pretty bang on with the lap 11 prediction. It's lap time, but he's the only driver to come in, but yeah.
It is indeed. So the trouble is when you lose it on the first S, your tyres are on absolute fire. There's grass all over your tyres, and you saw I was on board with him through the rest of the S's. Shout out to Edgar on the battery this evening. Great flavour. I hope you're enjoying it, mate. Love that from you. I'm surprised you haven't given me any beef about the football yet, but we'll wait for the DMs. So it's Ronha and Term, the two quickest drivers in the mid-pack, very close together. Term's already caught up to the back of his teammate Janinja in a couple of laps, and pit stop windows are coming. And if you're Moritz, Shoei, you got Janinja and LMG into the pits. I was just going to say, does Moritz call the undercut? But LMG's covered that off. So pit stop windows are coming in now.
I think Moritz is kind of bottled up because there's no way you can get the overcut done. Not around Suzuka anyway. But he's just going to have to push really hard. Let's have a look at his battery. He's got 32% lead. He can burn that during this stage and trying to get ahead of LMG, but I see his chances being slim. And I think he's just going to have to hope he stays in the DRS. But yeah, Jed has fallen out the DRS of Moritz, so Jed's really going to have to push to try and get back into that. As further, it's just every single driver apart from the top 3 on the mediums.
Yeah, I'm on board with Moritz for this, what we presume to be an in-lap. He's hammering the battery as we go through turn 12, and he really needs to put the hammer down. This needs to be somewhere close to the fastest lap of the race, which currently sits at a 31.1 with AMS term on the medium tyre. So he's just come out of spoon. He's all over the battery again. So are we going to see a reply to the pit stop of LMG, who's got clear air, and more importantly as well, he's 12 seconds adrift of Atomic. And AMS Till saying that's risky in the chat.
So Moritz, yeah, he does go into the pit lane,
Yeah.
followed by Jed and Silas. So that's every single driver on the softs have gone onto the mediums, I presume. Oh no, Moritz has gone on a hard compound tyre. That might have been
Here
a
comes
mistake.
Ronha. Ronha round the outside into turn 1, and Term's had a spin, but again a great save from Term. Is he a goalkeeper in his spare time? Because that is an absolutely fantastic save. Rode the curb at turn 1. Tyres are on fire. He's struggling through the S's, and Ronha takes the lead of the race and is already 7 tenths in front. What a save from AMS Term, Shoei.
Yeah, what an indeed. I just watched it back on the stream because I wasn't watching on board with Term, but that is fantastic. It's a little bit lucky that the corner does go his way there. But yeah, look at Moritz, he's completely dropped out of the DRS, and he's going to drop down even more now that he's on the hard tyres. So big London now, but there's a yellow flag, and that's Silas round. He was provisional P3, so no more for him. And that is playing again into AMS's hands. Well, it's not playing into AMS's hands, though. It's Moritz's strategy failure.
He's off again. S's are catching a lot of drivers out, and you seen him, he just had to catch it again. He had to correct it, scissoring on the steering wheel, and he did go off and touch grass for the second time in a few corners. And it's again, so as we go lap by lap, AMS just starting to chomp away a little bit. Medium compound tyre runners, I'm guessing, will be coming in about lap 18 or 19. So we'll see AMS Terms reply on Ronha as we go down the pit straight for the start of lap 12, and it does feel like we've been racing, Shoei, for a lot longer than lap 12, but here comes Term getting closer and closer to the back of FRA Ronha, and he doesn't take that curb this time. We'll go through the S's just to see how much they're pushing, and Term very cautious through the S's. Ronha looks like he's just gapping a little bit, and Jed gets past Moritz up into P6. I can see a little bit further down, and it looks all clear from the front too. Moritz then, the only driver to go onto the hard. I'm surprised. Are you surprised at that, Shoei?
Yeah, I'm absolutely surprised. So it's a big blunder for Moritz and AMS. He's dropped 2 positions because of that, and I think that's just thrown away a potential race win. So that's exactly what AMS does not need. And look, Genius, the man he just nearly overtook just before the pit window. He's already on the back of him, so that's another warning for Moritz. I'll just have a look at the warnings now as you continue commentating over the drama.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, as correctly predicted, Janinja is half a second now behind his teammate Moritz, and there will be some team orders if he gets any closer to get out of the way. AMS Fairley, one of the team managers, not in the box tonight. Not sure if he's racing at TSRC, but AMS Fairley, a known no assist god around the circuit. As we just catch up on Term going down the pit straight, 4 tenths of a second to Ronha. Are we going to see him move this time? He's a little bit closer as we get to go into turn 1. Ronha doesn't look to defend, and Term lifts off and lives to fight another day. And it's all about that exit at turn 15. If he can make that stick, as Jed sets the fastest lap of the race, and it's even Stevens going through the S's. And an update on the warnings coming from Shoei.
Indeed, yeah. So LMG, Jed, Moritz, and G-Ninja, none of them have penalties. The first person to have penalties from is John B, who's just behind him, only has 1 warning. So not a lot of penalties from P5 to P9, and those are the people who have already made a pit stop. His enemies in the wall as he spins his way. You say the line, Rose?
He's right round, baby, right round, and he's onto the kitty litter as well through the Degners. He's lost end plate damage, and this pendulum swinging lap by lap in between both teams, and he's right round, baby, right round.
Yeah, so that is damage for LMG, and that is his hopes for the race win down the drain. That is so unlucky, but also his fault. So as he's just letting his teammate go through John B. But again, that is really good for AMS, and now it's going to go look on board with Bum again. He looks to be closer this time around. Is he going to be close enough for a move on Ronhard? He does not have the advantage with the ERS, but he's going to go for the move. He's going to go up inside Ronhard. I don't think Ronhard's going to defend much. Oh my god, the switch back Ronhard loses the rear. Another fantastic save coming out of turn 1, but this time it's from Ronhard.
It is indeed, and Term has been trying it, attempting it for 3 laps in a row. Just that Ronhard and Term, some fantastic racing, excellent entertainment for the crowd. 2 massive saves at turn 1, and this battle will continue for another 4 laps as tyres start to die off, and they're 5.5 seconds clear of AMS Hero in P3, to just give you an idea of how hard they are pushing. And LMG unfortunately has to pit for a new wing and finds himself at the back of the grid along with AMS Dan.
Silas is spun once again.
Yeah. Oh,
as he's reset the track there, so that's
he has just reset to track, and that's poor from you, FRA Silas. He's right round, baby, right round. Resets the track, and that will be with the stewards at the end of the race. I'm sure someone's going to clip it in the stream.
Yeah, I clipped it on the Xbox as well. So
yeah. We will sell that clip to any team for £5. No, I'm joking. What's Ron Hart got in reply to Term? Half a second of gap, probably not enough to make a move. This time as he gets right up close as we go into turn 2, and another battle through the S's as Atomic and Hero get close to teammates currently running in P3 and P4. AMS winning apparently, according to DW. Good evening, FRA DW.
I think it's just because they haven't seen that they still need to pit stop three of the AMS drivers. So I think it's still advantage FRA now. But Morris keeping up quite nicely.
Good evening to Stabby in the chat. Good evening to Munja Clark and to DW. Thanks for coming along. A lot of chat and a lot of comments about that reset to track from Silas, and maybe he thinks he could get away with it. I don't know, but when you got the array of talent in the comms box tonight, we're not missing a trick. And you've been caught red-handed in the Red Bull sunshine.
That is correct, but Moritz is keeping quite nicely to Jed, so I think maybe at the end of the race when his tyres come alive more than the mediums, I think he has a fair shot of winning the race, even though he's had a big strategic blunder. I think, Moritz, it may come back to him due to pure luck from LMG spinning, and yeah.
Term pulls the trigger on. Yeah, and while we're there, good evening again to Lewis Badham and Smeggy. Freeman, breaking news from another esports race on another tournament this evening. Freeman's return to racing has not gone very well, and I have heard the phrase bottled. So if we could get some F's in the chat for Freeman, that would be highly appreciated.
Yes, Tom comes right behind his teammate G Ninja, and he will be making quick work of these medium runners on these fresh softs. They're going to be at least like 8 tenths a lap quicker. But for how long? We're just going to look at him. He's already getting 2 tenths in just a couple of corners. Surely his teammate will pull aside. Yes, he will. That's Tom already up into P6, and now Ronhard, he's probably going to have to respond to that, unless he wants to lose a heap of time to turn, potentially even lose the position to turn because of 3 seconds. But I will update the warning to 10 rows if you can keep chatting with the racing.
Yeah, so gap to leader for Term is 20 seconds as he comes through Ronhar comes through 130R, so 20 seconds is that gap. Unsure of how much it costs you in the pit stop window, but Ronhar is going to respond. So into the pits we go for Ronhar on lap 17 now. So it's all about where AMS Term is going to come out. Hero's coming as well, and Atomic. So Jed's going to take over the lead of the race. And if there's ever a time where Term needs an excellent exit, it's coming out of Casio Triangle now. Here he goes, down to the pit straight. We'll go on board with Ronhar quickly. He's making his way to the end. Here comes Term. This is going to be mighty close at the end of the pit straight. Term, has he done it? Yes, he has. There goes Ronhar into the distance. Janinja gaps him as well. So Ronhar down to P5, Term up to P3. That undercut's worth a treat. Another advantage for AMS, and Term is on the charge.
He is indeed, and crucial for AMS that Janinja does in fact get in front of Ronhar, because now they can use him as a roadblock to try and get the 3-second gap that Term needs. But yeah, Moritz is not going to hold him up either, so that's 2 roadblocks that FRA have over AMS. So yeah, I think Term can honestly get P1 on track, but I don't think he'll win because of his penalty, because Jed nor Moritz have a single warning so far, so that is incredible. As Janinja is, they're battling so hard. Ronhar is pushed onto the grass a little bit, but yeah, Janinja is going to use all of his ear wrestlers, ghosting a little bit there. So Janinja really wants to keep Ronhar behind. That's fair enough. He's just helping his teammate as they go through Spoon now. Ronhar is practically pushing. He is pushing Janinja through Spoon corner, and now straight. Surely Ronhar's going to go for it now, and that could. No, he's not. He's just going to literally use him as a go-kart. And oh no, he is going to go for it now. Yeah, there we go. Janinja backs out a little bit so that he has the DRS. We'll go on board. Do you want to talk over this battle, Rose?
That was yeah, interesting from Ronhar. He just wanted to park his front wing on the back of Janinja's car and push him all the way through 130R. Term and Moritz swap places, so Term, it's Term time, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat. Term, this is Jeff. It's Term time. Let's get that hammer down and let's see how quickly he can chomp that 3 seconds down to Jed out in front. But Ronhar, interesting decision to just push Janinja right the way through. Morris nearly as fast as the medium runners, says the chat.
I'll look at Morris
keeping
that time actually compared to Jed.
Indeed. So John B's next task is to get past Janinja and claw back some time on the guys out in front. Keeping a close eye on what Hero's doing also on the fresh soft tyres against Overkill, who does have that penalty. 8 tenths is the gap. Term not making inroads like we would have expected. The gap's still well over 3 seconds.
Oh, it's a spinner, and yeah, that's LNG. Right round, baby, right round. I said it, Rose. I did say it. I'm sorry.
I'll let you off this one time, but if you do use the famous phrase one more time, expect Rose Lawyers Agency to be at your front door tomorrow. LMG for the second time this evening is, as Shoei said, right round baby, right round, and AMS Dan is going to enjoy having some competition on the track, and he hasn't seen very much this evening. So LMG having a race to forget as Ronnie sets the fastest lap of the race and is now 3 tenths of a second behind Moritz, who's used all of his battery as you go into turn 1. Look at the switchback, but Moritz parts that Mercedes car very nicely. Hero gets up past Overkill and John B up into P5, so a couple of drivers switching round. Term's chomped half a second out of Jed.
Yeah, he hasn't. Ron has literally glued on the back of Moritz. You go for a move here? No, he hasn't got that big pulls. Oh yeah, that's another spin.
And that's Silas this time in the Red Bull. 2 spins in 2 laps then for the FRA boys, and they're not making all of the noise, unfortunately. And Silas also, like LMG, having a race to forget. And the less said about that one, the better. He's on and off with his battery. I don't know why that is. Is that tactics? Is that why do people do that? You can see his battery flashing left.
Yeah, I've got that glitch. I've got that glitch as well. Every time I start a race, so whenever I start a race, it just starts flashing on and off, and I have to pause the game and stuff. So yeah, that's a really annoying glitch, and you can see it goes so slowly. But Moritz has gained quite a big gap onto Ronhart, and he's going to have to go for the defense again. He's putting in a massive stint to try and keep ahead of Ronhart, because now the gap is 2.6 seconds. Look at Moritz using everything he's got. He's going to go down the inside. Is Ronhart, and he gets the place done very nicely. So now he sets his eyes on the other car on the soft compound of the tyre. But yeah, Moritz did what he could. I mean, he held him up by about 2.5 seconds, so that's really good teamwork from the AMS boys.
And if we head over to Decora Caesar in the BFE pad. Oh, hello.
Oh my lord.
Ronhart decides he wants to turn that Red Bull into a lawnmower. And I was just about to bring up that Caesar reporting from the BFE pad that Ronhart lost time on Moritz on the previous lap due to having a little bit of a spin, very similar to what we saw coming out of the S's there. Come on, Term in the chat. Upper Term, nice save. Term 2 seconds a gap. Silas into the pits for a new set of the soft tyres. 7 laps to go. It's neck and neck, I'd say. I think this race could be decided on what Term can do. He needs to get. Oh, hello.
That's Silas again.
Guess what? Third time unlucky for Silas. He's right round, baby, right round. Change that 2 on the back of your car to number 3, because that's how many times you've been round this evening, and that's an absolute nightmare for Silas. Back at the grid, 28.7 seconds, not having the temperature in his tyres coming out of the pit lane, and that, you must be annoyed. He's got to be annoyed with himself.
He's got the fast. Wait, there's no fast lap in BFP, is there? I'm trying to calculate the current points provisionally. Is there a fast lap on it? I don't think there is. There wasn't. No, I'm just gonna bet that there isn't. Yeah, I'll just be updating the points, and I'll tell you all what it will be in just a minute.
Term's just lost a bit of ground. He's lost 0.3 of a second there. I think he's coming out of the Degners as he goes around turn 12, 2.1 seconds a gap, and yeah, just out of the second Degner he just did touch the gravel, and that's lost him a little bit of time. But Ronhart still keeping Moritz very honest, and Moritz is doing a fantastic job for AMS Term as rear gunner. As talking to Ronhart, that's a 3-second time penalty, so we've seen a slide, 2 slides in 2 laps, and now a penalty to back it up, and FRA is starting to fall apart here, Shoei.
Yeah, they are. That is a big bottle for Ronhart, because he only had 1 warning 2 laps ago, so he's gotten 2 in just about 2 laps. So yeah, but now he's on the back of Moritz. He's not going to give up just yet. He wants to build that gap and to still try and get that podium. But Moritz is going to do everything he can, and this time he's defending the inside super well. Moritz, this time, he's not going to see the position, he's going to go, and then he just decides to yield at the very last moment, trying to cost Ronhart every single second that he has. Now it's crucial for Moritz to try and keep up with Ronhart, and to try and keep the DRS if he can, benefit from that and keep his podium as long as Jed does nothing incredible. And yes, that is what Moritz will be aiming for this race.
Indeed, and good evening to Dream in the chat. Matt Vale 9862 to AMS Luke. It's currently 52 to AMS, 50 to FRA. So FRA need 55 points. As Ronhart Moritz has a snap of oversteer coming out of turn 11, and he's 7/10. Ronhart looking to close the gap. The first job for him is to get out of the DRS of Moritz. And second objective is to chase after AMS Term, he's not gaining too much. It's 1.9 seconds to gap out in front. John B and Janinja sat in the DRS train, not really going anywhere, both low on ERS. Hero 2.9 seconds off them. Atomic again not close enough, and ERS very low on a lot of drivers. Even Jed out in front is on 10%, Term's on 6, Ronnie's on 10, Moritz using it again to try and keep on the back of Ronhart, and battery with 4 laps to go has been depleted by almost everyone.
Yeah, this is so close. If Moritz gains the position on Ronhard because of the penalty, AMS are through. And if he loses the position, that means FRA are through. So it all depends on Moritz now, because that would make the gap 6 points, meaning the difference at the top would be just the 1 point. So this is incredible. And Moritz needs to keep the DRS, and he's not done so. He's had a shocking first sector, meaning he is just outside the 1 second. And this opens the door for Jed, who, yeah, if he gets the position, again, it is game over for AMS in this tournament. So it's going to be oh so close coming down to the line. But look at Moritz, he's got the straight line speed, and he's gained it back pretty much. He's gained about 10.5 on that straight. So yeah, that seems to be a weak point for Moritz. It seems to be the downforce section. But does he get the DRS? That's the question. Both of them are going to be so and it's second exactly as time just keeps changing, and that's Moritz out of the DRS. But unfortunately, so is John B. So this is so close, Rose.
It is indeed, and Janinja also is in Ronhard's window at the moment as it stands. And again, good evening to RRL Jake, who reporting that he should be doing coursework, but he's spending his time with Rose and Shoei delivering liquid gold through headsets as Silas on board with Silas, and his spin count is 4. Overkill's at a moment at turn 1 as well. So FRA again 2 spins in a matter of minutes, and it's starting to slide away as 3 laps to go. And Moritz 1.4 seconds off Ronhard. Term has got a 2-second advantage, so Term's going to finish P3, I think it is, as it stands. Is that right?
As it stands, yes, you will, yeah, unless Ronhard can close 4 seconds gap. But this is so close, and Overkill's bottling it now gives the position to Atomic. So now it really looks good for AMS to get through as regards to the next, to the semis actually. So this is yet again so close, and I cannot keep my eyes off my screen as Moritz has not got a single one yet. That's fantastic stuff from him.
Now this could be a race-changing battle we're about to see as Janinja goes into Casio Triangle looking to get that exit on John B in the McLaren, and this could be again another nail in the FRA coffin. Here goes Janinja to the right, to the left, almost collects the back of the McLaren, down into turn 1. AMS Janinja up into P5, and while John B looks like is he going to give it up? Yes, he's give it up. So AMS up into P5 with Janinja. And again, another nail in that coffin. And a good evening to Surfy, who also has coursework due in for tomorrow, but rather spend his time with the comms god and Shoei this evening.
Yes, that is crucial for the race. And the skies are getting a bit gloomy, so if we see rain in the final lap, maybe that would be something to once again make this race even more interesting. As we see, there's not really many battles going on at the moment. Oh my god, big moment for Overkill, so he nearly loses the backhand and make it 3 spins as well for him. So yeah, again, not great for the for FRA. It's looking very good for AMS.
Rapid, good evening. Thank you very much for your kind words. FRT Jackster, I've seen in the chat a little bit before, and comments Shoei for ourselves saying Rose and Shoei icons. And and I speak on for myself, and I think I speak on behalf of Shoei as well. Is without the 70 lads in the chat tonight, I don't think we would be registered as icons. As John B. There's yellow flags in Sector 3.
Yeah,
I can't see why. But
it was just Silas slowing down to not get in the way of John B. As John B gets the position back. So again, that's race changing, and that could really affect the end result of the race. But I think it's still enough to keep AS ahead, as Caesar can get a point update.
52.50 at the moment from the BFE pad with Caesar. So it is everything to play for. Janinja needs to make that move on John B and make it stick. If he can do it at the end of this lap, it's going to be his lap to do it. Still no rain in the air. Could that prove a last minute twist to what has been a fantastic race? Term is absolutely sending it. He's gained a second, 6/10 of a second in the last lap.
If I was Tom, I wouldn't push that hard, but he wants the position. But Ninja's going to go for it now, maybe.
Ronnie with the fastest lap of a 1:29.6, and I will move on to penalties and the gap to leader as we're on the final lap, which is being led away by the McLaren of Jed. Janinja has made that move. That is crucial. Janinja has made the move on John B down into turn 1.
That is very important. And I think because the stewards might have a state of incident involving overkills because he got shoved off the track a little bit by the AMS driver. So that could be a points reduction, but that is not going to be enough, I don't think, to nudge AMS off the top. They have done absolutely brilliantly so far this race.
Here comes another twist. Term's fuel light is flashing quite heavily red.
Yeah, that could be something actually. Oh, yellow flags.
Yellow flag in sector 2, and that's Silas moving out the way of everyone. We'll stay on board with AMS Term though. Is the fuel going to cost him massively here? But guess what? He's gapped Ronhar by 3 seconds. Yeah, he has indeed. Moritz is very close as well. Yellow flag in sector 3. He's run out of fuel. He's run out of fuel on the final corner.
Oh, he's just about to get to him.
Oh, that is so close. Almost had it. Jed wins it for FRA. AMS Term comes home in P2. Ronhar P3. AMS Moritz in P4. Janinja, more importantly, the battle that could have won this race, in P5. John B in P6. Hero comes home in P7. Atomic in P8. Overkills is going to come home in P9 as we go on board with AMS Dan, who's going to come through at 130R for the final time. I can't believe what I've just seen on that final lap. That is incredible. How close was that?
Apparently it's level. Apparently it's exactly equal amount of points. Is it really? Because last time I checked, surely not.
That is one of the best ends to a race I have ever seen. That was truly incredible.
And it is 51 to 51, but provisionally AMS go through because of because they destroy. Well, they didn't destroy. They just beat QBR by more. So this is such a close group, and I have to say this is my favourite group in B3 at the moment.
I'm absolutely speechless at what I've just seen. By a Rizzler paper, Ronhar stays in P3, so it's Jed who wins the race for FRA. Term from 10th on the grid comes home in P2. Ronhar started 7th, fastest lap of a 1:29.6 comes home P3. Moritz and Janinja 4 and 5. John B for FRA in P6. Hero and Atomic 7 and 8 for AMS. Overkill in P9. AMS Dan comes home in P10, and unfortunately LMG and Silas more spins and points this evening for the pair of them in 11th and 12th. Who wants to hear from some team managers? I certainly do. Shoei, go and get them in here.
Yeah,
let's listen to.
Which team
let's
manager?
Get some team managers.
Yes.
Jaffa and BTX if are available.
I think BTX is offline.
Oh, Chris. They want Chris D. Look at the fixtures in BFE Jackster, and you'll see that
invited
And
Chris. I think. Oh, BTX is here.
BTX is here. Should we get Caesar in as well from a BFE perspective?
Yes.
Sure. I don't know if that question was pointed to me, but yeah, sure, get him in.
Let's get an AMS representative in as well.
Yeah, I've invited Chris. I don't know if he's joining them.
He's not. He wasn't in the lobby, but Jaffa is.
Just invite Jaffa. Oh, I want to raise BTX. That is so close.
Yeah.
Here comes Jaffa. Is Caesar going to join us from a BFE perspective? He's ran the BFE pod for us tonight.
There he is.
And here he is. Okie dokie. So we'll have three interviews, and we'll start with BTX. BTX, good evening. Welcome.
Evening,
it's
Ross.
a pleasure to have you in the box.
Good evening, mate. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. One of the races of the round so far, it swang from left to right, forwards to backwards, and almost was an interesting end between Ronha and Turn. But from an FRA perspective, congratulations for providing the 82 people in the chat with a fantastic race. Tell us, how did it go from your perspective?
Well, there was a lot to evaluate during some sessions with the boys, but in general I think it was a quite clean race, both sides, some shoulders here and there, but yeah, of course that's the thing that's gonna happen in these showdowns. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest, we fucked up. Yeah, just crystal clear on that one. I mean, we've got nobody else to blame for that one, and I just want to congratulate Jeff and AMS, of course, for the win. I mean, they did drive their hearts off. I saw Term almost spinning once. Hero, unfortunately, and Dan, I think. So yeah, I think both sides things went wrong, and we can only just learn from it. This season, I think there is some kind of curse, like BFE and FRA don't match up or something. No, but I mean we are having a good time, and yeah, that the results aren't there doesn't mean that we're not enjoying the commitments to the racing and the training sessions we have alongside them. So it's all good. At the end of the day, we're all enjoying some good old racing. So.
Again, fantastic. Shoei, take some questions away for Jaffa.
Well, Jaffa, good evening, mate. And what a race! What were your thoughts, initial thoughts on the provisional tied picture, I believe?
After qualifying, me and Phoenix in the engineering box, we thought it was over. We bottled qualifying so much, but throughout the race, we had slight moments that saved the race. As Ninja defending its run hard, that was amazing, and they just all worked out at the very end. And I'm elated and very sweaty.
Yeah, wow, it was an incredible race, and I think Ronha going off onto the gravel pretty much won you that. Because otherwise you would have been heading. So yeah, but congratulations to you and your boys, and that was an absolute stellar performance, and hopefully we see you in the semi-finals around Silverstone.
Yeah, thank you, man. GG next race.
GG, buddy.
Now, over to, we have done this before, but running the BFE pod in the race tonight has been Caesar. Caesar, I think as an owner you'll agree that is an absolute spectacle of what BFE is all about. Tell us how you found the race being live trackside.
Yeah, it was incredibly good to watch. I mean, I mentioned the BTX earlier. FRA is by far the cleanest team to the tournament, and AMS was so clean as well tonight. Two of the most experienced teams in the community. Just having a hard, well fought race, and eventually it ended up in a tie. So yeah, incredible. I think it's the first tie I've ever seen in a 6 versus 6 race. So yeah, I'm glad the two teams could show up and could put up such a good race. And yeah, congratulations on professionally AMS going through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, I think we certainly enjoyed it in the comms box. The two team managers sound like they enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. There was 82 people in the stream chat that enjoyed it. There was a lot of noise, a lot of support from both teams. Not just from the AMS guys, not just from the FRA guys, but shout outs to teams like FRT, Decorus in there as well. really shouting support. So it's lovely to see that all the teams coming together to watch this knockout game. And I think after that race, personally, Shoei, I think a draw was the correct result. I don't think it should have ended any other way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think both teams did extremely well to and I think AMS did absolutely fantastically in the race. And personally, I also thought that it was over after qualifying. I thought AMS, they gave it the best, but FRA just really the superior team here. But no, just a couple of FRA bottles and just incredible driving from AMS means it's a draw, and that's exactly what both teams deserve.
Indeed. So we'll wrap things up there, and then we're back tomorrow. I believe I'm joined by Caesar himself for back-to-back streams starting from 7 o'clock on the same channel. As we do at the end of all the streams, we're off to raid AC's Racing for the final 10 laps from Russia in their X1 tier. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on this channel. Thank you again to Shoei. It's been an absolute honour to share Conspots with you this evening, and one that we will need to do so more often. Any final words from you, Shoei?
No, just thank you to everyone who watched the stream, who was chatting in the chat, and thank you for the two teams that race. And it was just again a pleasure to be able to commentate alongside you, Rose.
No problem, and that will end things there for this evening. We're off to raid ACs. Go over, give some follows, give some love and support, and we'll see you again tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.